Hi guys, it's Vim from Forex Trading here, and today I'm going to be looking at some Forex charts and some other things for the trading week ahead. Um, so I just want to say next week I won't be posting as I'm on holiday, but I might still update the website with some analysis there because I will have Wi-Fi and I will still be looking at charts. It's just that I may not be able to record videos. Well, I will not be able to record videos actually, so don't expect a video next week or possibly the week after. So let's just start with analysis. So we're going to go with Euro Australian dollar first. So I think it's been 3 waves up to here, right? And then, I mean, this is a quite clear 3 wave correction here, and it lies within the channel quite nicely. And what we've done is we've had this looks like a 1, 2, 3, and some kind of corrective pattern here for wave 4 before the final wave 5 up here, which I don't think is completed yet. So I'm looking for a little bit more upside, and then possibly a retracement before going higher. I mean, it depends because this could be seen in a number of ways, because wave 5 is going to obviously go above wave 3 here, and actually the way I would draw this channel is like this. So wave 5 would actually complete up here somewhere. So if this is 1, we need 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. So I'm expecting it to come into 1.55 area. So let's have a look at the lower time frames for trade. So as I said, 1, 2, 3, 4 here. But I think actually this could be instead, this is probably better to count as I mean, we can't really tell at this point, but something like from here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or whatever for wave 3, and then let me just label this quickly, sorry. So that would make more sense, and this would be like that. So something like this would make more sense. So what I mean by that is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. And that should probably make more sense in terms of the channeling, because if we call this wave 3 here, then wave 4 didn't actually retrace enough. I mean, it obviously doesn't always work, but it is more probable that way. Like with the correction, it worked quite well. So basically, I've been looking for a close above this trend line, and we have seen that now. Sorry, there's quite a lot of mess in here. Fortunately I was away, so I drew a box here for a buy up, but I wasn't able to take the trade. So anyway, I think I'm looking for a small retracement before a buy. Because if this is wave 3, we're going to get a nice move up now. Alright, next pair I'll cover Euro New Zealand. This one's slightly interesting because I think we've had 5 up here, and then this looks like quite a nice sharp 3 waves down here, for ABC, and then, but I don't think the correction is quite done because it hasn't looked particularly impulsive from here, and it looks more like 1, 2, 3, and that would obviously make it a regular flat, unless it comes up. So from either this box or this box, I'd then look for 5 down for Y before I further move up. But it depends, because if this does turn into 5 waves, this would be, you see, the problem is this move here. That looks corrective in my opinion, and so I'm looking for this move to terminate either here or slightly higher before coming down, but I'm not going to sell this pair. It's just too risky selling against the euro. So this one is just, I'm just going to watch for it to come down to here before I buy, and that buy would be a big trade. It'd be quite big buy, which could make some big profits in your account. So just, I wouldn't sell this. Okay, this one's slightly more of a exotic pair, but I was just having like a look at some pairs, and this one looked quite interesting. So I mean, obviously this there's an impulse here, and then we've just had all of this as correction, and this has gone on for, well, since 2009. So I'm looking for this to terminate in the next few years or year around this level before a massive buy, which would take us above 5. So if I drop down to the daily, I can look at some trading opportunities for the short term. I like to think this is possibly going to be 5 up here, which would then present a buying opportunity in this box here. Because I think we've had, for the big picture, this looks like a wave, this is all B, and then a C wave. So that's the bigger picture. If I then go down to a smaller degree, inside this B wave we have A, B, C, D, E for a triangle. Now that means we're actually pretty close to completing the B wave, and of course this is a zigzag correction. If you have a look at this green here, I'll turn off the moving averages to simplify a bit. So this green line here, this A wave and C wave are impulses. So that means this selling from this E right here will actually there'll be quite a bit of momentum down, unless there's an ending diagonal, which is quite rare after triangles, because triangles they often make quite big pulses. And so we're just looking for this final move up here. You could buy this. I think I might buy it, but you could. But I think it's slightly risky, so I would risk a smaller percentage on your capital than usual. I mean, if this turns out to be the low, then there's a nice 1 to 3 kind of move up. If you wait for it to come into this yellow box. Otherwise I'd stay out of it until it comes up to here. But all that we're looking for is 3 waves for a massive move down and then a massive move up. And yeah, so I just look for a buy in this. Euro pound. This one, I saw quite a nice opportunity in it. But again, I was away, so I couldn't take this. So if we have a look at these, this degree here, it looks like we've had 1, 2, 3 extended, 4, and we're just either completing or we have completed 5. Which would then mean that's wave 3 on the slightly larger degree, which would mean look for wave 4 and then a buy for wave 5. And if that is wave 3 completed there, then we'd actually look for wave 4 to fall into this kind of channel here, and wave 5 terminate around here. Depends how fast this or how slow this move down is, and then how fast or slow the move up is. But I'd look for it to fall within this channel because this is channeled excellently. Of course, this could come up slightly higher. That would change the channel slightly, but it's all the same really. We're just looking for it to find a high, find a low, and then a buy. I don't think it's a great idea to sell at this point. Of course, euro strength is very high right now, and I wouldn't bet against it. So look for a buy in this into next week. But this is probably one of my favorite opportunities. Pound yen. This one's very interesting because I think this is a wave A here, subdividing like this, and then we're looking for a wave B, which could be anything really. I find this is a wave A here, and then we're looking for some kind of correction within that A, which could be this doesn't have to be 5, by the way. This could be A, B, C, D, E before one more move up, and then wave C. Or it could be, this could be A, and then this could be, this could turn into some kind of WXY or a zigzag. But I think my preferred idea is 3 down, 3 up, 5 down for a flat within this wave B, and then obviously we'll have that wave C to complete the bigger wave B to then follow up for a bigger wave C, which will take us below this A wave. So this ties in quite nicely with this recent yen strength, because it means we're going to have a further push down. Also, there has been a bit of pound weakness, which is good for this idea too. Of course, there's a trend line here, which actually looks like it might have broken out already. So I think a good selling opportunity is either to wait for it to come into this zone, which is a 38.2 of this move down, or for it to make some kind of flag like this, and then sell the down move. If I just drop down to the 4 hour, this is what we've had. I think this might be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or it depends how it's going to go. something along those lines, possibly. I'm looking for it to come into this zone, or for it to make a flag here. It's channeled quite well, as you can see. So there has been a good few selling opportunities like this, but now it's time for a slightly larger correction, which could be sold into. A little bit of divergence on the 1 hour, but it's nothing major really. On the 4 hour there's no divergence. Right, pound chef. So if we count this as this is wave A, or even wave A, move 1 or A, sorry, then this is B or 2. Then we'd look for 1 more down for 3 or C. For the correction within wave 2 or B, it's terminated before the 78.6, and it's been at ABC, and yeah, that would finish wave 2. So after this, obviously, we'd need this down move now, which is going to be quite strong. It looks like some kind of leading diagonal for wave 1 here, and then quite a sharp and small wave 2, and then a wave 3 extension with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that end wave 3 here. So I'm looking for 3 waves up for wave 4, should terminate around previous wave 4, and from there would get a drop for wave 5. In terms of channeling, obviously with the wave 2, the small wave 2, it doesn't really work, and when there's leading diagonal, the channeling technique isn't great for the first few waves, but normally it gets better after that. So obviously you can't do anything like this. So we'd have to wait for wave 4 to complete, and then draw a channel like this to find wave 5. But anyway, it's bearish, and after this wave 5, a bigger wave 2, and then a wave down. But if this is wave 1 and 2 here, it's going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, which is quite big. That'll take us down very far, possibly even approaching 1, but not quite. Okay. Next pair is pound New Zealand. So this one, I'm looking at this as an impulse wave here, and then some correction for another move down. The question is if this is going to turn into a triangle. So that would mean this A, this B, this C, this D, this E, and then down. Or is it going to just simply be a zigzag? Or is it going to be a move up and then something within B, and then C, and then down? We're not quite sure. However, we want it to move down, and so within this structure we have at the moment these two trend lines that could be seen as flat or converging like this. There's some smaller trading opportunities, but it's not looking like amazing trading opportunities. So I'm going to stay clear of this. However, you could just basically sell things like this, like little breakouts between the trend lines. But I like to look for slightly bigger moves, so I'm not going to look for that. So I'm going to keep quite short on this pair and say just more correction in general before the move down. Dollar CAD. Wave 3 is completed. We've had some kind of 5 up. That's ended. Now we're looking for wave B, because this would technically be a wave A here. So this would be the minimum move that would happen. I did get a decent sell in, but I think I got stopped for break even here. I anticipated it to come down to this trend line, but there was one more up move and I was away, so I couldn't sell this. But in these, when there's a rising channel, when you're confident, this is quite an advanced skill. This isn't something you want to do as a new trader, but as you see the channel maturing, getting near its end, selling is often a good move, because it's very unlikely that it will break out above the channel. Like, it doesn't usually do this and then all of a sudden go up. Usually what happens is moves around in the channel, then it breaks below, like what happened here. So it's good to look for sells, but obviously they're higher risk because the trend is up, and often it's good to look for buyers as well. So anyway, we need some kind of 3-wave correction for B before one more up for C. So I think this pair's okay to sell in. Just look for small flags to the downside and make sure you constantly update your count. West Texas oil. So this looks like we're looking at a wave 4 completion. Like right now, I've actually bought into this, and if I drop down to the 4-hour, it is relatively messy, but basically all that's happened, if I just remove that, is we've had a big wave 1 here, and then wave 3 is extending. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We had an interesting big wave B here, because the smaller wave B was a triangle. But then we've basically had A, B, C, which has then brought it down quite nicely onto the trend line. And then on the 1-hour time frame, it looks like an impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then one more high for 5, and wave 2 up. That's my view anyway. So for that reason, I've actually bought into it. Stops at this wave 1 here. Target is relatively loose at the moment. It is probably gonna change, but I'm basically just gonna count 5 waves up and look forward to terminating near this trend line. Posted a private idea here. So I've started doing this recently. Just posting private ideas. If you'd like to see this, then just or these ideas, then please just contact me, and I'll update you each time I make one. I'm possibly gonna make like a mailing list, which I'll send this to in the future. So every time I take a trade, I actually post it. So these are my entry reasons. Wave 4 looks like it's completed. Looks like an impulse from the low here, as I mentioned. Small flag breakout. It's in quite a nice uptrend. The concerns are the fib relationships aren't great. Although the channel is good for this bigger degree. On the smaller degree, it doesn't work too great. So it's not a perfect channel. It's okay, but not perfect. Pattern's not extremely clear. What I mean by that is this ABC. It's quite a complex ABC, and often with complex patterns, they could drag out a little bit longer. So the planned stops are relatively wide, only looking for 1 to 1.2.7. Usually I'd go 1.3 or 1.4 higher. Not 1.3, 1 to 3 or 1 to 4 or higher than that. So this is quite a low risk reward for me. But I'm taking it safe because, as I say, this could be more complex. So I'm looking at wave 1 here as my stops. But the plan's only to trade this wave 5 up. If there is a clear reversal at any point, I will just simply close out the trade. Protect profits, add to position on smaller gyrations down. So that's a plan. That's how I'll be trading this wave up. So this is actually one of the good trades in the week. 30-year bonds. This actually looks like a very nice trade. So I want to see this as 5 down. Even if it's not, it's a impulse down and we're looking for a correction. So what I'm thinking is we've had 3 waves for W, a small X, then we're looking for 3 waves for Y, and that's basically it. So what I'm looking at is within that, on the 4-hour chart, there's a good opportunity here. Strong move down, correction, move down. I think this should actually be at ABC. So wave B is this WXY pattern here with 3 waves here, X, and 3 waves up. Now we're gonna have to see this might have a little bit higher to go, like this, but on the break of this trend line here, I'm gonna have a look for a small consolidation pattern on the 1 hour 30-minute chart, possibly 15-minute chart, and a sell with stops above the high or the possible high. I'll then expect it to break this channel before moving down into this target. Say it breaks out now, stop goes above the high. That's a good 1 to 5, 1 to 6 possibly. So very nice trade down. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you found this analysis useful and you can use it in your own trading. If you'd like to share any opinions on the charts, and if you agree or disagree with anything, then please just leave a comment below and I'll have a look and we can discuss any of the setup seen here. And so I won't be posting next week, as I said, so I'll see you in 2 weeks.